Now on CoastTV News.
Practicing being pulled over while autistic drivers were working with police in Lewes today to better navigate traffic stops.
The tram after tragedy. Ocean City still trying to decide what to do with their famed tram. A child was hit and killed over the summer.
The drought continues, no rain in sight, and it's taking a huge toll on farmers along the coast.
And ghost crab pots. They aren't exactly spooky, but they are causing problems under the water.
Oh, and speaking of water, we could use a little, actually, because it's been such a drought. And now we've set a new record high, ultimately 84 for today. Won't be quite that warm tomorrow, but will be just as dry.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Support for autistic drivers, one organization preparing them for how to operate if they get pulled over. Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
And I'm Christina DeRobertis. Welcome to CoastTV News at 11. We begin tonight in Lewes.
Getting pulled over can be scary for anybody. Those lights go on, your adrenaline shoots up, and for people with autism, it can be even more nerve-wracking.
And that's why Tuesday, a group of autistic drivers were given an opportunity to practice going through the procedure.
As CoastTV News reporter Brendan Conroy shows us, the drivers and their families loved the experience.
Practice makes perfect, or at least makes you better prepared. That's why the Delaware Network for Excellence in Autism partnered with the Newcastle City and Denrec Police Tuesday to give autistic drivers the opportunity to practice traffic stops on a course at the McBride Beach Bathhouse parking lot. Alicia Fletcher and Charles Sawchenko work with DNEA and say this program is a huge help for the drivers.
It really reduces their stress and anxiety concerning any contact that they have with law enforcement.
The practice course has the drivers follow the cones to a stop sign that they drive through before being pulled over by a police officer conducting the traffic stop. Naomi Martin has autism and was joined by her mom, Jamie, for a couple of practice rounds on the course.
Having this as a dry run and practice just will help prepare her in case this happens. Hopefully it won't in real life situation.
Naomi says she is more prepared.
It made me less nervous for real life.
Newcastle City Police Captain Keith Dempsey says it's a great opportunity for both the drivers and the police doing the stops.
It provides us two opportunities. One is for us to get to know the community and engage with the community and build relationships. And the other purpose is that it helps our officers learn that different people have different perceptions of what goes on at a traffic stop.
While traffic stops are no one's idea of a good time, practice and preparation will have these drivers as ready as they can be if they ever see the flashing lights in the rearview mirror. Right here at the checkout table is where drivers and families wrapped up. They were able to fill out a feedback form, get some treats and a goodie bag, and what you could tell is they were smiling and super excited about all they had accomplished on this driving course here today. In Lewes, Brendan Conroy, CoastTV News.
What a great program. Moving on, the DIAA has reprimanded Indian River High School for apparently breaking rules about student-athlete eligibility. An investigation revealed that the school's football team appeared in a commercial for Hershey Exteriors. Now that goes against regulations that prevent student athletes from endorsing products. The DIAA has ordered the school to remove the commercial and also create a policy on endorsements within 30 days.
Moving now to the drought that continues to plague Delmarva. Farmers are really feeling the effects as the dry weather is hurting produce in some cases, which in turn is causing farmers to lose money. Craig Brady with Stag Run Farm says his apple yields are 70 to 80% behind what they were last year.
The irrigations run on electric. We have electric pumps, so hence our electric bills have gone up by about 40%. I know a lot of people are running those pivots.
And flower growers at the market also say they are losing money since lack of rain is stunting the growth of some flowers. And as we take a live look now outside into Lewes, all this drought talk brings us to our first alert, Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams, for a look at the weather. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Christina. And we're continuing to anticipate that the drought conditions simply not going to get any better. Even the cloud cover is going to be hard to come by. So when you're talking about upper level moisture, just even the condensation happening, it's just not happening is the key. Now we're going to drop back to 56 degrees, but notice we stay clear with our skyline throughout the rest of the night. Not even cloud cover. We did actually set a record high today of 84 degrees officially in Georgetown. That record was set actually in 1979. It was actually 83. So we're in the midst of severe to moderate drought throughout all of Sussex. Not only that, but as you take a look at the rainfall totals, you can see we've stayed exceptionally dry for the last, for the entire month. So we're at 2.8. By tomorrow, we'll be at about 3 inches shy of our normal rainfall total because so far this month, we've had none. And none is expected in the immediate future, Charlie.
Thank you, Paul. August 20th was a terrible day in Ocean City. A 2-year-old boy was hit and killed by the tram that runs along the boardwalk. It's an event that brought the community together as they paid respect by placing stuffed animals where the accident happened. The Ocean City Council now looking at the future of the tram service for next summer. And according to the Ocean City manager, police are still investigating what happened. But once that wraps up, the town plans to take action, and one vacationer hopes there is a way to safely continue the trams on the boardwalk.
A lot of people, they depend on that for transportation, especially elderly people or people with back problems or whatever. So it just seems like more precautions would be the way to go, not cancel it.
The Ocean City Council plans to wait for the investigation to close before making any final decisions. This does, however, bring us right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what should Ocean City prioritize when deciding the tram's future?
Let's take a look at the results. So far, we're looking at 3% of people saying tram upgrades, 2% saying cost, 56%, or just changed actually to 57% saying tourist convenience, and 38% with public safety.
And that's about what we've seen most of the days, right in that range. If you haven't voted, though, you can still do that. Go to CoastTV.com or use the Coast TV mobile app. Do you know what a ghost crab pot is? I didn't know until this story. It's a crab pot that's been left on the bottom of the Delaware Bay, and today they were the focus of a workshop at the University of Delaware. University officials taught local boaters how to use sonar to find derelict crab pots. Today's demonstration include learning how to set up the equipment, how to find the pots out in the water, and ways to pull them up for collection. Coastal ecology expert Brittany Hayward says it's a bigger problem than you might expect.
Estimated 30,000 derelict crab pots out there. We're trying to get these pots out to stop the fishing, ghost fishing is what it's called, or stopping those boats from accidentally running into and getting wrapped around their prop.
University officials say from November 1st through the 3rd, boaters help them find these abandoned crab pots.
New at 11, protecting the whales. That's the goal of new regulations that will apply to developers of offshore wind projects along the coast of Delmarva. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Fisheries has released its final guidance for limits under the Marine Mammal Protection Act. There are dozens of provisions listed, including regulations that actually allows for the incidental killing of a small number of marine mammals during construction. The regulations start January 1st and last through December 31st of 2029.
We're getting a look at the latest numbers on Delaware's road fatalities. Overall deaths, those are slightly lower than last year, but DelDOT reports a rise in pedestrian and motorcycle fatalities. So far this year, 24 pedestrians have been killed. That's compared to 19 in 2023. And 18 motorcyclists have died compared to 13 at the same time last year. The state is reminding people stay alert, especially as we start to lose daylight.
In Ocean View, Substation Road is connected to 5 neighborhoods, and it's now under construction and down to 1 lane. On your screen now is the stretch of road that's been affected. DelDOT is resurfacing, widening, and adding curbs to Substation Road. People that live nearby say this work is needed, but others say the hassle of road work is just not worth it.
It'll be nice when it's all done. And the fact that we've lived here, there are a couple other roads that weren't finished, and now they're finished. So one of these days it'll be finished, and then we'll get to enjoy it.
We just figured we had no choice and we need to live with it, but it is inconvenient.
And another neighbor told Coast TV off camera today that this road work should have been done 10 years ago. DelDOT says weather permitting, this work should wrap up by early December.
Starting next week, make sure to tune in to Coast TV News for our preview week coverage. We're going to air exclusive candidate interviews. You won't want to miss that. Our Decision 2024 preview week kicks off next week.
And there are just 2 weeks to go until Election Day, but early voting is already underway in a number of states across the country.
As NBC's Bree Jackson reports, both campaigns seeking to drive their supporters to the polls, while election officials are working to ensure voters and that the ballots are going to be remaining safe.
Millions of Americans across the country eagerly casting their ballots as more states begin early voting.
Everyone is talking about this election. This is the biggest election in about 8 years.
Former President Obama campaigning in Wisconsin to help kick off early voting there, as the Harris-Walz campaign unleashes its top surrogates.
You hear from me, I am asking you to vote.
Harris seeking to reach more voters on her own by taking part in more media interviews, including with NBC News.
Last election, the former president came out on election night and declared victory before all the votes were counted. What is your plan if he does that again in 2 weeks?
We will deal with election night and the days after as they come, and we have the resources and the expertise and the focus on that as well.
Former President Trump doing outreach across voting blocks, holding multiple events with faith leaders and Latino voters.
I don't know, but it's going to be close.
Trump is also attempting to raise doubts about this year's election while admitting he's seen no evidence of fraud.
Have either of you seen any cheating, incidents of cheating, that leads you to believe that this election will not be fair?
Well, I haven't.
Election officials and law enforcement releasing this ad warning of consequences for election interference.
What will not be tolerated is acts of violence or intimidation.
This voter expressed confidence that their voice will be heard.
I feel like my vote is safe.
With voting underway in a tight race, officials stress there are systems in place to ensure every vote is counted. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
And in a new intel assessment, agencies warn that Russia is continuing to work to undermine Democrats and benefit Donald Trump by circulating false stories, some aimed at inciting violence and calling into question the validity of democracy.
We've got more news to get into this evening.
Still to come, hurricane relief efforts continue on Delmarva, who's packing up donations and heading south.
Plus, bark on the boards, pulling in big numbers, how many pets were adopted, and the total amount of money raised.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. We're going to go from 79 down to 67. Look for a big change in how it feels outside from Wednesday to Thursday. And from Thursday to Friday, we'll enjoy a lot of sunshine. But unfortunately, no rain is in the immediate forecast. When we expect some, I'll tell you in the next, after about 60 seconds.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread, topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
We know Angela Alsobrooks got caught taking illegal tax breaks, owing $59,000 in back taxes.
And she's now getting a deal. No penalties and a 25% reduction in interest.
Now the New York Times reports Alsobrooks lied on official mortgage documents, and Alsobrooks was sued twice for not paying her bills. Thousands in water, sewer, and other expenses. What scandal will they report next? Maryland's Future is responsible for the content of this advertising.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread, topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
Once again, we're talking about, and it seems as if we're singing that same old song. It looks like it's going to be a dry day again for tomorrow and for the next few days in a row. And as I'm looking at my long-range models, they're not looking very hopeful for the likelihood of any precipitation anytime soon. Even cloud cover is going to be hard to come by. Ocean City, Gateway Subaru camera, 62 degrees. We can see the waves pushing across. Temperatures will fall into the 50s, mostly clear skies. Because of the clear skies and the light winds, a bit of radiational cooling is occurring, so the temperatures are dropping off rather rapidly. We're already down to 51 degrees in Delmarva, Salisbury, and 53 degrees, for example, in Seaford, 56 right now in Milton. Our live radar indicating we are clear of any, well, we're not even discussing precipitation at this point. It would be good to just see some cloud cover in place. We'd settle for mist, fog, dew, anything. But just condensation is just not in the cards. High pressure and control of our weather, and even with the dramatic change in temperature we're expecting from Wednesday going into Thursday, we're not seeing much in the way of shifting and condensation there. In addition to that, if you add on top of that, what if you add on the fact that we're breaking record highs? That makes a bad situation worse, kind of like putting salt into a wound, so to speak. We got up to 84 degrees today. I said that we tied the record earlier today. Then we had one more bump late in the afternoon, so we actually broke the record of 83, so now we're at 84. We have been bone dry, okay? That kind of dry. In fact, for the entire month, we're like 2.84 because we have zero, zilch, none. And it's just been that way. And for the entire year, we're about 3.5 inches shy. It's been 25 days since we've had any rain, measurable rain. 34 is the record. We are cruising to kick that record down kick down that door. And I think we're going to surpass that by several additional days. Because as you take a look at the 6 to 10 day outlook, it's very dry, because if it's brown, that means that we're dealing with drier than normal conditions. Then I go to 8 and 14 days. I mean, I want you to understand something. I'm searching for any model I can to find the possibility of rain. And everywhere I search, I'm coming up with nothing. Not even a possibility, not even a 7% possibility. And usually that's including cloud cover. So we're looking at a few clouds, maybe at 10 o'clock. Then they clear out before the afternoon that time. Temperatures in the 70s. Take a look as we see all this rain, this green you see right here. Don't believe it. It's fugazi, all right? I'm just telling you. The temperatures in the 40s for Friday and going to Friday afternoon. We're going to stay dry with our 8 to 14 day outlook. And it looks like we're going to stay dry going into early November. And as far as that changeover is concerned, we have a front that's going to push through. Cooler air will prevail, but then even with that, it's going to be slow. By the way, our Sea Witch Festival forecast, we're going to stay clear of rain, perhaps a few clouds Saturday and Sunday. That's as hopeful as we can get. Here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling extended forecast.
Thank you, Paul. Great news, new tonight. The Bark on the Boards block party benefiting the Brandywine Valley SPCA. It was a big success this year. Breaking the numbers down, Bark on the Board raised $175,000, and they also managed to adopt out 24 animals as well. Delawareans continue to help people hurt by hurricanes Milton and Helene. Donations were loaded onto a trailer today headed to North Carolina. Members of the community have been at this for weeks and received help today from the Delaware Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 10. Taylor Swain with the Delaware FOP says she's grateful for those who helped in any way they could.
I get to work with a lot of great people within the community, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say, how important it is for the community support and how grateful we are for the community support that we actually get to come out and help with events like these. So their donations are extremely, extremely helpful and very much appreciated.
We have more on this heartwarming story. You can find the details on CoastTV.com.
Wednesday night, the Delmarva Sports Network will air the Governor's Challenge Selection Show. This is the big reveal for all of the local and national teams that will play in the Governor's Challenge basketball tournament. It's the largest holiday basketball tournament in the country, and it's held December 26th to the 30th at the Wicomico Youth and Civic Center in Salisbury.
Still ahead, the former CEO of a major fashion brand arrested on serious charges, what the federal indictment says.
And food safety alert, how an E. coli outbreak is linked to McDonald's.
Johnny Janasik's multi-million-dollar inventory sell-off is extended. Through Monday, save up to 70% on leather, upholstery, bedrooms, dining rooms, and more. Plus, 0% APR for 24 months. But it all ends Monday at Johnny Janasik.
Welcome to First State Chevrolet, your commercial truck headquarters on Route 113 in Georgetown. We carry the full lineup of Chevrolet medium-duty trucks and low-cab Ford models. Our sales staff is professional and ready to earn your business.
Save up to $19,000 on this 2024 low-cab Ford dump body.
Save up to $16,000 on this medium-duty dump truck.
Stop in or find us on the web at firststatechevy.com.
We are First State Chevy in Georgetown, where we put you, the customer, first. Together, let's drive.
Welcome to Beach Barrels. No matter where you're from, everyone is a local. Fun times and good vibes await with a wide variety of craft brews, plus our award-winning Primo Hoagies made fresh daily. Dance the night away at the best live music venue in Ocean City. And there's never a bad seat to catch your favorite sports team. Dine in or relax on our outside deck with comfortable seating and beautiful palm trees for a cozy, tropical atmosphere. Beach Barrels open 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. at 132nd and Coastal Highway.
In Maryland, we live closer to the halls of the Senate than anywhere in America, but often it feels they're on another planet. Because when it comes to what's impacting your life, Washington's nowhere to be found. We can take on corporate price gouging, causing prices to skyrocket, expand access to affordable prescription drugs, keep our neighborhoods safe, and protect your hard-earned retirement. I'm Angela Also Brooks, and I'll be a senator focused on you. That's why I approve this message.
Find your better night's sleep for less at Johnny Janosic. Shop now and get a $300 MasterCard reward card on select brand purchases. And we'll haul away your old mattress for free for a limited time only at Johnny Janosic's Mattress World.
Download the free CoastTV First Alert weather app today. This is CoastTV News at 11.
Well, it's a case that's taken a long time to play out, but the Georgia election workers who won a defamation lawsuit against Rudy Giuliani will get control of his Manhattan penthouse apartment and a slew of luxury items. Tuesday, a federal judge ordered Giuliani to turn over all his valuable possessions to Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss. In addition to the Manhattan penthouse, Freeman and Moss will get Giuliani's furniture, a collection of watches, sports memorabilia, including a signed Joe DiMaggio jersey, and a 1980 Mercedes once owned by Hollywood star Lauren Bacall. Last year, Giuliani was found guilty of defamation when he singled them out and accused them of tampering with ballots during the 2020 election. He was ordered to pay nearly $150 million.
How about this story? The former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch has been arrested on charges related to sex trafficking. Mike Jeffries and two other associates were arrested on Tuesday. The federal indictment alleges they ran a sex trafficking scheme between 2008 and 2015. They're accused of recruiting men who wanted to become models, then giving them drugs, alcohol, and Viagra at sex-themed parties.
In regional news, 46 people were hospitalized with food poisoning in Maryland this week, prompting a disaster alert at an area hospital. All of the patients were taken to Howard County General Hospital in non-critical condition. This happened in Jessup, Maryland, at the North Atlantic Fish Company. The Howard County Health Department believes all of the people ate the same food prepared by an employee of the Jessup facility authorities. They believe this was an isolated incident, but the investigation continues.
Still to come, Sussex Central stays hot in boys soccer. Catch the highlights from the Golden Knights' 9th straight win.
And coming up, gas is getting cheaper across the country. What's fueling the trend?
And take a look at your forecast as far as golfing is concerned. Listen, we're still going to have another gorgeous day. Not cool quite yet, but we're about to get there. One thing's for sure, the greens are still running real fast.
Download the CoastTV News app on your Apple or Android devices.
My brothers and I were blessed with loving parents. They paid into Social Security and Medicare their entire lives. Now, some politicians in Washington want to take away the benefits seniors across Delaware have earned. I'm Sarah McBride. In the Senate, I help lower prescription drug costs. In Congress, my priority will be making it easier for people to pay their bills and afford to retire. I approve this message because Social Security is a promise after a lifetime of hard work.
At Atlantic General Hospital, we've been busy. Busy expanding healthcare services that are second to none in our region. From cancer care, women's health services to orthopedics, gastroenterology, and more, we provide advanced health technologies delivered by top providers. Expert care every day. It's what you can count on from Atlantic General Hospital.
Your Ford dealer presents America's all-time best-selling SUV, Ford Explorer. The intelligent Ford Expedition. The fun, fuel-efficient Ford Escape. Want more? Visit your local Ford dealer. Now get an Escape with 2.9 plus $1,250 bonus cash, or get Expedition with 2.9 or $5,000 cash back.
Farmers are superheroes, true conservationists. We are using soil health practices to help fight climate change. Soil health farmers are working today to protect tomorrow, using regenerative agriculture and climate-smart practices like no-till and cover crops to improve soil health. Healthy soils sequester carbon, improve water quality, and produce sustainable, nutrient-rich food. Soil health farmers are working today to keep Delmarva a beautiful place for generations to come.
As a math teacher, Matt Meyer knows that Delaware's tax system isn't adding up. So he has a plan to fix it. Give middle-class families a tax cut, invest in schools, and lower costs. But Mike Ramone's plan gives tax breaks to the ultra-rich, which could cut education by nearly $175 million. Matt Meyer knows these numbers don't add up. He'll make state taxes fair so families can get ahead. Vote Matt Meyer for governor.
A food safety alert issued Tuesday reportedly tied McDonald's Quarter Pounders. The Center for Disease Control getting involved, and the prevention says that the popular burgers are linked to an E. coli outbreak. Officials say tainted meat has sickened at least 49 people in 10 states. One person died. The CDC says most of the people who became ill said they had recently eaten Quarter Pounders. A specific ingredient hasn't yet been identified, but CDC investigators are focusing on slivered onions and beef patties. McDonald's issued a statement saying it is, quote, taking swift and decisive action regarding this matter.
Well, despite a lot of uncertainty looming over the oil markets, most U.S. drivers are seeing relief at the gas pumps right now. So what's pushing the gas prices lower? Karen Kafa takes a deeper look.
Gas prices have ticked lower in most places in recent weeks, even in an environment with a lot of uncertainty.
We should see a slight decrease in gasoline prices going forward in the next month or two, and then a period of pretty relatively stable gas prices as things project into the springtime.
AAA's price tracker said that as of Tuesday, the nationwide average for a gallon of regular gasoline is $3.16, down 4 cents from 1 month ago. And Gas Buddy said Monday its tracker saw the median U.S. gas price slip below the $3 per gallon mark for the first time since early 2024. Ezra Peterson, senior director at AutoAppWay.com, says it's the season for lower gas prices as demand decreases from the summer months and as pumps in some parts of the country switch over to a winter blend that makes it easier to start a car in cold weather.
What that does is because you're using less crude oil in the refining process, the gasoline price itself is actually less sensitive to that crude oil wholesale price.
Peterson says U.S. gasoline prices have become less dependent upon swings in the global oil markets in recent years as the nation's refining capacity has expanded and reserves have been stable. Crude oil prices close to $70 per barrel recently have also helped to keep those prices at the pump in check. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Yeah, what's going on, sports fans? Championship week continued this evening in the Bayside. Let's head out to Pusey Field. Queen Anne's County wins its second straight conference crown in field hockey. The Lions stopped Stephen Decatur 3-0, capping an 11-1-1 season. Decatur was 0 for 17 on corners in the loss. Jordan Bilbo opened the scoring, and Allie Edwards added a pair of goals for the Lady Lions. Now, both teams could meet again in the Bayside 2A regional playoffs, which begin on Thursday, and Queen Anne's has a bye to start. In Lewes, Cape Henlopen boys soccer rolled 7-1. Gio Barney scored one of the tallies on that header for the Vikings over Sussex Tech tonight. Cape improves to 8-4-2 on the season, while the Ravens dropped to 7-5 this year. You can watch the Vikings next on Thursday in our game of the night against Sussex Central. Kickoff is set for 6:30, 2 nights from now at Legend Stadium. Speaking of the Golden Knights, they were in action tonight. Senior night at Dover. First half, it's SC's senior Yanni Mazariagos Ortiz with the finish. Knights led 1-0 at the half. More in the second. Wilder Ramirez Sandoval from distance. That pretty hit put Central ahead 2-0. The Knights would roll from there. 4-0 the final. Central now 10-3 on the season, while Dover falls to 7-6-1. Again, Cape Central, that's on DSN. You can watch it all live at 6:30. That is for sports.
Coast TV First Alert Weather. Your safety, our commitment.
Nearly 30 years ago, Mediacom was founded on a powerful idea: bring cutting-edge broadband to underserved communities. From coast to coast, we connected 850,000 miles of fiber. Our team broke speed barriers, delivered 1 gig speeds to every customer, has led the way in developing a 10G platform, and now with Mediacom Mobile is offering the fastest, most reliable network on the go. Mediacom. Decades of dedication, decades of delivery, decades ahead.
At the Delmarva Design Center, appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring come together in one showroom. We have specialists in each division like myself in cabinetry to ensure that you have the best product to fit your needs. And your selection fits seamlessly with every element of your project.
It was very important to find somebody that was knowledgeable in the whole picture: the cabinetry, the appliances, and the countertop. We are delighted with the outcome.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
Get ready, Delmarva. Excitement and incredible savings have arrived at Gateway Subaru. Save up to $3,200 on a new 2025 Subaru Outback with financing rates as low as 1.9% for 48 months. Or save up to $2,300 off a new 2024 Subaru Crosstrek with financing rates as low as 1.9% for 48 months. And be among the first to drive the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. Stop in and reserve yours today. Gateway Subaru, just minutes from the beaches in the heart of Delmarva. Higher standards.
Foul odors, discolored water. Are you running out of hot water more quickly? These are all signs of sediment buildup in your water heater. And as the buildup becomes more severe, it can even cause a premature tank failure. Flushing the tank periodically can prevent these problems. FH Fur has you covered. Get a water heater flush for $49. That's right, a complete water heater flush for only $49. Act now and get a plumbing inspection free.
877-CALL-FUR. FHFur.com.
The Corolla legacy is earned, rooted in affordable reliability. With convenience and unexpected comfort. Lease a Corolla Cross LE for $319 a month or buy a Corolla sedan with low 5.49 APR.
This is my legacy.
Toyota, let's go places.
Minnie Mouse has a new gig. She's finally been invited to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The beloved Disney character will get her own 60-foot balloon, joining Mickey, who's been a parade participant since 1934. She'll also join Pluto, Donald Duck, and Goofy. And it's the perfect time with both the parade and Minnie Mouse approaching centennial status. The Macy's Parade debuted in 1924, and Minnie's character came to life a few years later in 1928.
Minnie doesn't look a day over 85. All right, so our tidal health camera in Salisbury, 51 degrees. We'll drop to, well, we're going to stay in the 50s with the clear skies. Our umbrella giveaway winner is actually Sandy Kovada Ladois of Berlin. I got a call in told how to pronounce that, so I'm thankful for that. All right, our live radar is looking very clear for us right now, and you can call our weather line at 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away, sponsored by the law offices of Baird, Mandalas, Buxted, and Federico. And then finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling exclusive 10-day forecast. We're warm again on Wednesday, not record-breaking, but then we drop dramatically for Thursday, and then we drop down to 39 degrees for Friday morning, and then we have another 30-degree morning going into Monday morning before we warm back up going into next week. But unfortunately, Charlie and Christina, still no rain.
I'm going to sleep right through that cold. Thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11.
For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
And we hope to see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.